Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video we are doing a mini pick-a-card with mini tarot cards. For a size comparison, I will show you them next to my hands. I actually have pretty small hands, so they're very mini, they're little tiny ones. If you enjoy this, let me know in the comments below, because I thought this would be a fun way to do a general reading, you know, see whatever pops up, whatever's most important for you guys to hear. But it's just, I love little things, so it's like little cards, little fortune. If you like this, we can make this more of a regular thing. As always, a reminder that I have an intuition course and a tarot course that you can find in the description below. I'm telling you right now, guys, most of the questions you have, most of them can be answered through the journey of going through both of those courses. These are both the staples of how I built my psychic abilities up and understood how to interact with the spirit realm and the cosmos and gain secrets of the universe, and just dramatically helped me out on a personal level in my own life. So I'm just letting you know it's there. Also, for my Patreon supporters, thank you so much. I want to let you guys know I just posted videos involving another live narration and in live real-time experience of going to the spirit realm and talking about, or like I go to the spirit realm and I'm showing you and telling you about it verbally of what I'm experiencing. I talk about the weirdest glitch I've ever experienced, sleep paralysis. I talk about different kinds of souls. I have a very important message from the Angelic Council involving ascension, underworld beings, and aliens. And last but not least, a really fun epiphany I had involving love and support and how that is associated with time and how we perceive it. So anyway, back to our mini fortune hand. We have 4 groups in front of us. Group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the group that you resonate with most. Now that you've picked that group, you can go down to the description where you can go to your designated group, and let's have fun and get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's look at your mini fortune by looking at these mini cards. So we have King of Wands in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, the Fool card upright, the Magician in reverse. Oh wow, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I can tell you right now, I am seeing a lot of like, this is the center of, I'm going to find out if, yeah, I can already tell this is where you want to go, and this is sort of the issues or adversity you're dealing with surrounding you. But let me get some more information before I go into this complete reading. Okay. So, all right, let's get into this. So right off the bat, I'm going to talk about some things I see sort of on your mind and currently sort of like around you and weighing you down. But I am happy to say that I do have good news and good information on where you sort of like should put your attention and focus in order to pull you out of this circumstance, because everything is connected. It's very obvious, and it might be cathartic to talk about where it's coming from. So over here in the 10 of Pentacles, I can see the general fear of success, the concern of like, I need to have success, it's at the precedent of my mind. If I have success, I can, and we're talking about financial success, I can be free, and you know, there's a lot of opportunity created, and there's a lot of fear of feeling like disconnected from it. Can I achieve it? That type of thing. But the main focus is, can I achieve this success? Sometimes we're in places in our life of just wanting more money. It's the end point that's focused for you, because the end point means a separation from this other stuff we're talking about. Over here in the Magician in reverse, I can see some imposter syndrome popping up. This is when you just don't think you're good enough, that what you have to offer isn't good enough, that you're not talented enough. I do want to say in a positive way, I often find, and you'll notice in my tarot course, you can find your own personal language for the cards. But for me, whenever I read the cards, often when I get a magician card in reverse, this is sort of a subtext representation that while you might feel and fear that you are not good enough, it pops up for people who are in fact more than good enough, but just currently don't have the confidence to go with it. So the talent is there, the ability is there, but the disconnect is the thing that's sort of, well, I mean, you feel disconnected. So understand this is also a subtext of confirming that you are good enough. You just might not feel good enough right now, but that's there. You can see how that's affecting the disconnect from success. And then over here in the Three of Swords in reverse, this is talking about when there has been some sort of deep emotional pain that's popped up. Now, I did ask my spirit guide if this has to do with a breakup, because often Three of Swords has to do with romantic sort of disconnect. Can be dealt with like maybe someone cheated or betrayed or whatever. Well, not whatever. I mean, that's serious when that happens, but something that's really affected you in a past relationship. But and my spirit guide said, yes, it can, but it's more affected by the King of Wands in many cases. Let me just double check just to make sure. Okay, I'm getting confirmation on that. Good. So anyways, we're going to get to the King of Wands in 1 second, but something important to understand with the Three of Swords, when it's in reverse, it's about you have some sort of difficulty that needs to be overcome, that's been on your mind, that's affecting clearly these other things we talked about. However, you're just not in a place right now where you can really deal with it. And it's sort of an impatience that can be revolved around this type of mindset. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired of being in pain. I'm done with this. I would like to kind of sort of sweep it under the rug, push it out of my life. I don't want to deal with it right now. But it's described as like prematurely moving on and not facing issues that need to be faced in order to heal them. Now, why is that happening? Why do you want to prematurely overcome it or push it out of your life? Well, this all leads back to the King of Wands in reverse. So the King of Wands in reverse is representing somebody that's very controlling in your life. I was asking my spirit guide if you are conscious of it. And let me just double check one more time that they said yes. My spirit guide's like, they are very aware. This is somebody who is pretty darn controlling in your life and is clearly having such a significant effect on your life and sort of influence that it's leaking into everything else. Because think about it. Now over here we can see you are clearly aware that this deep pain is caused by them. The way we are coming to this conclusion, again, this is for the tarot course. I'm showing this so if you're enjoying the tarot course, I like to break this down even more so we can both like explore the cards together more. But see how this bird is looking towards this line and even actively flying towards them? There's a sense of like, hey, you did this to me. I don't like this, it's not fair, and you're really like coming at them really intensely with it. But if you notice them, they are turning away. There's a sense of denial of like, nope, it has nothing to do with me. And they're even turning towards what we call as like the void, the empty space, a situation outside of these cards. So it's almost like they don't even want to look at anything, like they're causing this in you. There are side effects or byproducts of how you feel because of this, and they don't even want to acknowledge it. They're looking over here. But there's a sense, this is really important to read with the cards. So if we look at how the lion is positioned, I love this beautiful card, and how it's positioned, notice how it's sitting, but when we have it in reverse, it's like body language is facing you, so it's still actively, there's a sense of interaction, like they might be with their head turned mentally looking away from you, not acknowledging it, but their body is facing you, like on the DL, they're actively, affecting you and causing this emotional pain and different stuff like that. And the fact that they're sitting implies like, yep, not going to change, not going to move, but they're not trying to run away from the situation. They plan to I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to like stress you out, but the point is they're aware of what they're doing. They don't really plan to stop anytime soon. But that doesn't have to be what happens to you. But before we go into that, so just for cathartic sake, so they're causing this, and there's a sense of them being like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not happening. That sort of avoidance mentality is getting leaked over here in the Magician card, that imposter syndrome. They are disconnecting from the pain, and you are disconnecting from your own self and your own achievements. You see what I'm saying here? And then you can see the desire for success, you want to get out of this situation. You want to be free of this other person. You want to have, and this is the big subtext, when you're manifesting more wealth in your particular situation, you're focused on, I want freedom and achievement, or freedom and an opportunity to be away from the situation. So I would highly recommend, as you are manifesting more money and financial opportunities in your life, your core really wants freedom and opportunities. So when you're manifesting, manifest money and be like, I'm a money magnet. I have so many opportunities. I have so much freedom. I can do whatever I want in my life. Because that's the core of where you're going towards, and the money will follow because you're hitting to the heart of what you really want. You get what I'm saying here? Anyways, so you can see how everything is interconnected for that reason. So what's the solution? Well, we have it right over here beautifully in the Fool card. So in the Fool card, this is somebody who is totally separate from these type of energies. All of these energies are really like over analytical, super self-aware of every single second of the process. There's a lot of stress of where you're going to go, where you've been. But the Fool card is somebody who sort of allows themselves to be erased of their past. And while they do have a goal in mind towards the future, example, they would like achievement, they want to have this career, they want to have this amount of money, whatever it is, they don't worry about how they get there. They just have a deep, deep trust. Everything's going to work out just as it needs to, as long as they hold in their mind their manifestation, their destination, their endpoint. It's like having that dream a lot of people describe when they're younger and they're like, I want to be like a movie star. And they didn't know they needed to talk to whoever they needed to talk to by the time they were an adult. They just were so focused on it. Everything sort of lined up and enabled them to run into those people. Because think about it. Well, you might say, well, they went and they moved to LA and they went and did, X, Y, and Z, and they talked to a producer. Lots of people move out to LA. Not everyone gets to talk to a producer. They had that intention in mind and everything was able to follow. Now, keeping that in mind, the reason why this is so different is it's a lot of go with the flow. It's a lot of not knowing what's going to happen next, but be willing to see that the journey might not always be linear, and that's okay. And the beautiful thing here is I want to focus the idea of the turtle and the shell. So this beautiful little sea turtle, I love sea turtles, very, very, very cute. In the spirit realm, water is like super, super, super important. It is often described as cosmic knowledge, as my spirit guides describe it. So this is the type of stuff where everything feels clear. It's the stuff that in your deepest of inner connection is deep knowing. And it's like stuff that you remember as you become more in touch with yourself. But when we're talking about cosmic knowledge, we're talking about stuff that can almost seem outside of your realm of knowing. Like we're talking about like even subjects you're not aware of, but on a deep, well, maybe I'm going on too much rant. Let me pull it back here. To get to the point, cosmic knowledge. So this cosmic knowledge would aid you in being able to connect more to feeling connected to your gifts, would enable you to have more of that intuitiveness and insight without even needing to exactly understand why you know, leading you to the right directional path of what choices to make next, is able to understand that when we are overcoming past situations and we're healing from them emotionally, we are able to understand that things will unfold in front of us and they will take us on a beautiful, mysterious journey that will help give us the comfort we need to overcome the past, magically unfolding us. It's like having a random conversation with someone or over like watching a show or something like that, and all of a sudden it gives you an answer you didn't know you needed, kind of thing. But being able to be open enough and see that it could unfold in any way, you don't need to know where it happens next. And the reason why I'm describing this sense of openness is when the sea turtle is swimming through the water, aka swimming through that cosmic knowledge, they are able to think of like the water as like every single particle in the water as this potential possible opportunity. So they don't know what direction they're going to go in or where they're going to go. They're just kind of floating around as they live the longevity of their life as they grow, after they grow up and they're doing their thing. You're leaving this sense of over self-analyticalness. You are setting a journey and a precedence of where you want to go, but you're letting go of all the little details. You're pulling away from the situation. Somebody is trying to control you, and then it gets projected into your own life where you're then trying to control aspects of your life. You're not taking that on anymore. The trick often is doing the opposite from the situation you're in. And as my spirit guide was telling me, sometimes we're put into situations to force us to discover, and this is what subtext to me for my spirit guide makes it feel. I'm sorry, just listen to my spirit guide for a second. Give me a moment. Yes, it is. Okay, they are confirming that. This subtext to me implies that this skill that you will be practicing will be something that will become a very deep part of the way you function in life going forward. Because my spirit guide was saying sometimes things happen, we are put in circumstances, aka this person and what you've been through, in order for us to be forced to activate and explore and then embrace parts of ourselves that if we had lived another life, we would have never experienced. So while it might not seem the best or why is this happening at this very moment, at the end of it all, as you're swimming through that cosmic knowledge, you're going to realize kind of how it all was sort of meant to be, and that it ended up being beneficial in the end. And you're going to feel and realize that this is who you were really meant to be. You're a lot more free than this other person is making you realize, that you have more opportunity than they are, like, you could say, allowing you to see, and so on and so forth. So, very cute, very cool, very freeing, very beautiful. I'm very excited for you to push through all of this. And remember, it's about setting a destination. And anytime these thoughts come into your head of like, well, what about this? What about that? You have to just be like, you know what? I set a trajectory. If I notice any type of inspired actions that call to the situation, I will take them. I'm not going to worry about the in-between, but no matter what someone else will make me feel, my mantra is always, I'm free, I've got lots of opportunity, and I've got lots of money coming my way. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all this freedom you are experiencing, cosmic knowledge, and all that good jazz. If you enjoyed this, please consider giving the video a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. I'm wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for our next mini fortune, group number 2. Group number 2. Let's look at your mini fortune by looking at the mini cards. We've got 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, I love that it's ants. Oh, armadillo. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And Wheel of Fortune upright. Okay, give me a moment to see what this is all about. Oh, we have 3 separate fortunes going on here. Awesome. I can see how they're intertwined, but there's a feeling, I'm seeing, I'm going to go over them. Obviously, I'm not trying to, this is one fortune. This is another one, and then this is another one. And you'll see as I describe all of them that there is a sense of them potentially being intertwined, but as it's being read to me through my spirit guide and my own reading, it feels very much like here separately, here separately, here separately. So keep in mind there can be intertwiningness with it all, and there is a little bit of intertwiningness with it all, but it's not as intertwined as I normally read it. I'm just making that perfectly clear because you know how normally when I'm reading the cards, everything's so interwoven with each other. Anyway, so let's get started with the Wheel of Fortune card. I love how my spirit guide is describing this to me right here. They said, because I was noticing this and my eye was being led over here, so I was wondering if that's where I need to start my reading. Because that's, fun fact, if you're taking my tarot course, sometimes when you're trying to decide where do you start reading, because you don't have to read chronologically, you can read out of order. In this case, in a way we are. Sometimes it's just what catches your eye, and it can be a brighter card, it can be the way the card looks, something's just catching your eye about it. And my spirit guide said, yes, this is the card we want to start off. And they said, do you notice how these wings don't match the scarab or the beetle? And I said, yes. And they said, That's because they are two unconventional things that work well together. Because it is a very lovely image. And they said for you, there are two unconventional things, and they said you are aware of what these two unconventional things are, that are meant to be paired together in order to find good fortune and to create cycles, like happy cycles, good habits, you could say, but they specifically said cycles that you want to build. Let me ask if it's only career-based. No, not just career-based. It's like whole life-based. Can it involve the career? Yes. Yes, I'm just double checking. So yes, basically there's two things, you're aware of them. They don't seem like they normally would go together. There is a way you can make them work together. And the two being brought together and functioning together will bring good fortune and build cycles you want to build. Now, before we get over to this fortune, we're going to skip over here to this section. So in the Three of Pentacles in reverse, my spirit guide was saying that you would prefer to not work with other people. That it's just not your vibe. I can see by the reaction by the other cards, it's most certainly is not your vibe. Sorry, pardon me. You'd like to work alone. It's not your thing. You're not loving working with other people, and it kind of prevents you from feeling fully free and like you have enough to offer within yourself. Not that you care about offering it to these other people, but like potentially at the end of the day, maybe you feel drained of energy or emotions or creativity. I mean, it can't even in some cases feel financially, but in this case, it doesn't feel financial. And my spirit guide is confirming that right now with me. It's more, right? I'm just checking that again. Yes. Okay, good. So the point is, it's not your cup of tea right now. Now, not only are you being advised to find however you can in your current job to either how can you isolate yourself as much as possible, because this is how you function best. This makes you happy. This is how you would prefer to work. But if you can even potentially go and find a job where you can predominantly work alone, that would be best for you. But if you can if like right now in your current circumstance, you just know how you can. So example, let's say you work at a type of job where like, let's say it's like the food industry or something like that. And you're like, you know what? I could go fill up inventory in the back predominantly. Or find a way to clean something and do it out of the way. Again, whatever you can do to get away from everybody else and give yourself basically jobs that create some sort of isolation. Well, it wouldn't be isolation for you, it'd just be working by yourself. You get what I'm saying here. But this would benefit you greatly because over here in the Four of Pentacles being in reversed, this is awesome. This is when you're coming out of a time period where you felt like you were lacking in resources. Now, when we say lacking in resources, it can be anything like we just said before, energy, emotions. It's like saying, listen, I just don't have enough to offer. And the more you feel depleted, the more you feel like you're protecting yourself. This could result in defensive behavior. This could result in just being not your most vibrant, best freeing self because you don't feel very free. You're more concerned with like what you're trying to conserve because you feel that you have a limited amount of it. So I'm happy to say with it being in reverse, especially with the Three of Pentacles implying you would do better to be like more separate and isolated and everything like that. When it's reversed, this is you finally going, oh, I can finally stop worrying about, whatever I need to look over or watch over. I can finally just relax and be free and open up. And this opening effect often causes a chain of reaction of other like you're basically saying to the universe, you're right. I'm not limited I'm not limited in my resources. I'm unlimited and I'm open for even more. And often when you can get into that mindset, especially after a time period where you felt like you were more restricting yourself or felt restricted, you'll oftentimes more than not have it start to flood in and the universe reflect back what you're finally able to find within yourself and reflect back. That gets double confirmed over here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, implying somebody coming out of a lacking mindset. No longer lacking. Again, both of these, when we read cards, talking about my tarot course and everything like that, we want to look at subtext. These cards, while they talk about a positive direction that will be moving in as you spend more time by yourself in your career and stuff like that, or get a job by yourself, whatever, the subtext when we read these cards upright is lacking. So the fact that these cards are implying good fortune by reflecting an opposite concept like lacking, it's giving us the subtext that, oh, you felt very restricted. It's more than having good fortune. You're having good fortune from a time period where you felt bad. So this is great because it's giving you extra comfort, because you're probably thinking, oh man, I feel drained, I feel without, what's the issue? And right now, the most important thing the cards are saying, the most important thing to address is comforting you and saying, hey, it's understandable you felt that way, and hey, guess what? That time period is going to be ending as you focus on this more. So very awesome, very cool, just pointing that out. And then our third fortune over here, which is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Now this is a little bit correlated to this because it is career related, but my spirit guide said this is also related to a friend group. Hold on a second. Friends. Okay, I was just double checking if it could be like acquaintances or anything like that. So in both the card being the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and my spirit guide said that someone is, are they trying to, or they are using them? Both. Okay, both. Is it both because it's the general reading, or is that the case for everybody? That's the case for everybody. Okay, so this whole circumstance, not you either. It has to relate to both the career and the friend group. Hold on, I'm just trying to get specifics here. Is it both for everybody, or is it one or the other, and this is a general? A mixed bag. Okay, so because this is a general reading, for some of you it's just a friend, for some of you it's, career, for some of you it's both, but there's a conscious effort of someone being around you trying to use you. Now here's the thing. My spirit guide and the cards imply that you have the ability to, no problem, set up a boundary and be like, hey, yeah, you're not gonna, I see what you're doing. This isn't going to happen anymore. Pardon me. This isn't going to happen anymore. Not really into this. I can see what's happening. I'm going to cut you off. Which you can see if you feel restricted and you feel like you had to watch over this, you can see how the two are correlated. We always talk about correlated cards again in the course and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say here is there are some people you should look into. Where do you feel like you're being taken advantage of? Set up those boundaries. Instead, enjoy focusing on two things you're very interested in that maybe don't seem like a likely pairing. Put them together. Start building some awesome habits. Start building attracting good fortune into your life. And potentially do it in a much more solitary way, because that is how you best function right now, or potentially function as a whole. My spirit guide's like nodding their head like, yep, that's how they love to do it. And it's not a coincidence when we feel bad that something isn't working. It's not to like go on like a whole thing, but often when you don't feel like your best self, depending on the level of how intense it is, you are being told by your inner compass, your inner self, something's not right here, and to go work on it and to deal with it. You're not, there's nothing bad or incorrect about you. You're actually functioning quite well, and it's time to pay attention to what you, on a subconscious level, are successfully connecting to. And sometimes it's about noticing when people are trying to make you feel that way, or understanding how you best function. It's okay. There's a place for all of us in this world. And whether you want to work with a lot of people, or work alone, or work a more creative job, or work something where you can kind of turn off more of your mind, or something maybe more logical and analytical, no matter what it is, there is totally a place to exist in the giant functioning puzzle piece that is like our universe and society and stuff like that. And if you feel like something's off, don't think, oh, well, I'm just in a bad mindset or something's wrong with me. No, you're telling yourself you need something else that would work more cohesively with how you like to function as a person. So yeah, I'm excited for you to feel a lot more free, have a lot more abundance in your life, work the way you want to work, be in a good environment with good people, and explore something new and feel like you can creatively express yourself in a way maybe you hadn't before and really benefit from it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Feel free to give this video a like, a comment, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and let's get ready for our next mini fortune, group number 3. Group number 3. Let's look at your mini fortune by looking at the mini cards. We've got 9 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse. Wow, literally swords. 5 of Swords upright. And, oh wow, I can read this like a book. And Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Give me 1 second to see what my spirit guide has to say. But I already pretty much know what's going on here. Give me a second. Okay, so let's get started with this beautiful canary, right? That's a canary? This beautiful canary in the center. I'm curious if anybody in the comments has a canary. Do you have a canary? Do you have a beautiful yellow canary? Do you have a pink canary? I know they do come in many different beautiful colors and species, I'm assuming. Or is canary species? This is a side note, sorry. I'm like thinking about animals too much. Anyways, so with the Page of Swords in reverse, I can see both in the card, and I am getting confirmation from my spirit guide that this is, there's a lot of internal verbal, like putting yourself down. It appears that you're trying something new, and there's a lot of self-criticism about it. Now, the reason why there's a lot of self-criticism is due to the 5 of Swords. My spirit guide said that there is a sense of competitiveness you feel within yourself, towards yourself, and with others. Now, competitiveness can be anything from something needs to be finished in a certain amount of time to a certain perfection level to just feeling like you know more. There's a sense of rush behind it, and that's like the biggest thing I notice is this sensation of like, I got to get there, I got to accomplish this thing, whatever measurement you're using, and it's like I got to get there quickly, whether it be within yourself again or with others. And so that's where the criticism comes in. It's like, hurry up, you don't know enough yet, come on, why aren't you good at this yet? And a lot of intensity going around it. Now, this is what's causing the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This is just straight up everything coming to a halt, which is only causing more criticism within yourself. Because if you feel like you're trying to move towards something and you're not sensing if you're not seeing any sign of progression, well, then that only causes you to feel more frustrated, which ends up you putting more pressure on yourself. But all of this is sort of causing a kind of cosmic reaction because you're sort of on a subconscious note through your actions and these sort of ways that you're putting yourself down, saying to the universe, I'm stuck, I'm not moving forward, why isn't this happening? So the universe is going, oh, you're stuck. Nothing's working, nothing's happening. And then this is again that sense of haltedness, nothing progressing with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. But I am very happy to say we do have solutions here. One, I would definitely say with the Page of Swords in reverse, let's flip that around. That's the first thing we want to do. This is when you're much more, oh, that's perfect. It's facing over here now. I love that. That actually goes perfectly with what we're going to talk about over here. But with the Page of Swords being up right now, this is a very complimentary, especially verbal. Both of these situations are verbal, so it's a lot of like giving yourself credit where credit is due, even if it's small in the beginning and you're like, woo, I just worked on this thing. Woo, I just studied this thing. And giving yourself credit, being like, wow, look how good I did. Or look, I learned a new word today. Or I practiced this new technique. And regularly reinforcing it, because clearly the way that you criticized yourself is the way that you best transfer ideas and knowledge to yourself. So you might as well turn something that is maybe at the moment right now negative into a positive thing, but this is the way you best connect. So you could say mantras like, look at me, I'm constantly moving forward. Look at me, I'm growing and I'm getting better at this. Look, I'm learning something new each and every day and I'm getting a little bit better than I was before, or a lot of bit better, however you want to see it. So definitely start exercising those mantras in a more positive stance and verbally in that internal monologue way, or if you say things out loud, go for that too. 2, it's about not becoming competitive with yourself. And instead, again, we're going to turn this card around. We want the Knight of Pentacles. Now, often the solution to some of these things is the opposite. So the Five of Swords is a very fast feeling concept when it comes to competitiveness. Get it done quick, get it done first. But the Knight of Pentacles is a much more slower interaction. Now, compared to the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which is just straight up, nothing's moving, we're not going anywhere, the Knight of Pentacles is getting to their destination and will get there to their destination. They're just very slow about it. But the reason why they're slow about it is they are somebody who is enjoying the journey. They know they'll get there, but they also know they're going to have a good time and learn so much along the way. So while the destination is cool, they are like in on that cosmic secret of like the destination is even more fun and sometimes even more important than where they will end up. And this is sort of the way you will aid in the kinder words and less pressure putting on yourself, of taking away this sense of like endpoint and more focus on the joy that you're doing something new and giving yourself credit where credit is deserved. Also, when the Knight of Pentacles is upright, this is somebody who is focused on the greater good. Now, the greater good can relate to like the community or like being like a wholesome person in general to yourself. That's totally possible too. But the greater good is like, in this case, can also work with like, so let's say you're learning some new skill, right? And you're like, wow, I need to slow down, because like at the end of the day, if I take my time and I really learn this new skill, it's going to benefit me and I can use it in so many different ways that I haven't even possibly conceived yet. So when I take this time, because it's sort of like saying, hey, the rest of your life is laid out in front of you, I might as well slow down and just understand this new thing. Also something to consider, I always like to think of this as a way to help put things in perspective. So whenever you read about like a biography or like a Wikipedia article about somebody's like life, how they lived it, there might be time periods where they were learning to invent something. And maybe that time period they were learning to invent something took like a very long time, like 5 or 10 years, right? Now they ended up living the rest of their life, really financially benefiting whatever they experienced, became super known about it. It affected the rest of their life, including after they, passed on. Everybody else, essentially like knew them for it. It's like a big thing, right? But I'm sure in that time period, that 5 years they were trying to make the thing happen, it too felt like forever for them. They didn't know if it was ever going to get accomplished, and they probably put pressure on themselves too. But when we look at the sort of time period, we're just like, oh yeah, whatever, 5 years. Try to like sort of pull back in your life, look at your life like a biography or an autobiography. Which one is it? Biography, autobiography? Autobiography, I guess, if it's yourself. And then you would say, oh, you know what? Even if it takes me X, Y, and Z amount of time, that's just such a small blip in the entirety of my life. I might as well soak up such a special time period that will positively affect the rest of my life. Now, in addition to that, with these two cards over here, these are being read due to their zodiac signs. So both of these are Gemini cards, and Gemini is specifically being referred to in a mutable sense. It's a mutable card. Now, pardon me. The difference that my spirit guide said is, instead of focusing this intention behind being competitive, redirect that attention of an endpoint or comparing yourself of who you could be or to others. Focus more your attention on how you can be mutable in your learning and achieving the goal. Like lose yourself in the joy of being like, ooh, maybe I need to bounce around and pop around several books, or hopping around different ways of learning the skill and learning to navigate all of those things, because that mutable sense of approaching the situation will not only be fun and will benefit the long term of your success, but it will benefit the way that you're processing information and learning this new thing. So it ends up being, so if you need to if you're somebody that needs to focus on, it's like you have the main thing you're doing and there's sort of like a subset sort of intention and goal, this is a healthier way that will benefit you more and make you a lot less stressed, and instead aid in the process of you gaining that ability and skill, rather than solely being focused on, well, what if, why not now type of attitude, and more like being like, it could be like this or it could be like that, and if I can bounce around here, then that means I could use this, and just seeing how everything interweaves. It's going to benefit you a lot more. So I'm excited for you. Don't be so hard on yourself. We now understand why you were hard on yourself, and we understand how it can be better for you, and slowing it down. And I can see a huge shift and change in the process, the easiness and the enjoyment of learning something, and and just feeling a lot more confident. And you should feel more confident that you're doing something new, and that's a pretty cool thing. I feel like more of us should try new things, and you should definitely, when we can feel that much more proud of who we are and what we are accomplishing, it definitely is a major factor in our happiness levels, which then can affect many other aspects of our life positively. So I'm excited for all this positive redirection and in general for your overall success. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Helps out like you would not believe. And let's get ready for our final fortune. Group number 4. Let's look at your mini fortune by looking at the mini cards. We've got 7 of Swords in reverse. Ooh, Temperance in reverse. I'm already picking up stuff from that. We've got 4 of Swords in reverse, 2 of Cups in reverse. Ooh, and 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay, let me get some more information from my spirit guide. And then I will talk about what I see. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff. This is confirming stuff that I can see you're already successfully noticing, and this will give you sort of a direction and approach to the whole situation and confirms the suspicions that you have been having. So first, let's start with the Temperance card in reverse. This is the first thing I noticed, and my spirit guide said this is the leading start of the reading of the card, because you don't have to read chronologically, you can read out of order. So let's start here first. Now, specifically, it talks about an imbalance going on right now in your life. This is like an imbalance. This could be emotionally imbalanced, this could be energies imbalance, but the way that I'm sensing it and my spirit guide is talking about it is it's like you can feel something's off. Something feels off in your environment. Maybe you're feeling off by a byproduct of it, and you're just sensing something's in the air, so to speak. I am kind of wondering if this is associated with some stuff with what I talked about earlier, a message from the Angelic Council, because this feels very much in alignment of some stuff they've been talking about. But anyways, the point is, you're sensing it. Now you are sensing it correctly. That's why we have a cute little crab here. We're thinking of the crab as like inside it, think of like the inside of it as like the nutrients, you could say, and the outside of it as a shell, a defense mechanism to protect its inner nutrients so that it's the only one that can benefit from its nutrients and live. So this is sort of you putting up your defenses a little bit and kind of pulling back a little bit in general. And this is a confirmation that that is fine and you are appropriately doing it so because you can tell there's something and you're just sort of like preparing yourself or kind of just, putting up some sort of protection because you can feel that something's a little off. So this is the confirmation that like nothing's wrong with you. You're actually very intuitive and psychically connected, and you're just appropriately reacting to the situation. Now, that being said, how can the situation be, handled or seen, looked at? Over here, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, it's actually being read as more of a Seven of Swords upright type of situational way, as in you need to approach the situation strategically. There's a lot of logic about how going forward you're going to handle the circumstances and how you're going to look at things, evaluate them, choose carefully what's your next course of action type of thing. But the reason why it's in reverse is for the imagery of the spider being in reverse. My spirit guide said that the way that the situation will be approached is you need to kind of approach it in kind of an unconventional manner. Like, let's say there's one way you would strategically approach it. This is even more behind the scenes than that is the best way I can approach that. Reason that being is over here in the Four of Swords in reverse, which made me chuckle a little bit because my spirit guide was like, see how this is in reverse and this is like a good thing. This is another way you can approach the situation. It's just giving you perspective on like an unconventional strategy to the whole thing. Over here in the Four of Swords in reverse, my spirit guide was like, this sloth is in reverse. That's not very good. You know what I mean? It's not a beneficial thing in this particular case because sloths traditionally hang, well, upside down if we turned it around. Now, this is about you needing more sleep. This would be very beneficial for you at this time. But when we go back to before we go into that, your world is right now, due to these sort of outside forces you're sensing and feeling, you're a little bit upside down in your own world. So you might as well then approach the situation in a little bit of an upside down kind of way. Because if you try to approach it in the other way, you're just not in that sort of perspective or place due to the effects of this. So it wouldn't make accomplishing or understanding the situation around you and working through the situation around you in the best manner because you're not in that perspective. So we're trying to match the perspective with the circumstances you feel like you're being put in. So keep that in mind. But going back to the sleep idea, my spirit guide said that it's really good right now for you to get sleep. But if you are having trouble sleeping, they suggest that you lay in bed and you just meditate. You just kind of sit there. You can think about nothing. You can do a mantra. There's many different ways you meditate. You can turn on a meditation like a video or something like that, or a sound, like an audio thing. A guided meditation, that's the word I wanted to say. I couldn't think of a guided meditation. But whatever it is, that would be an act of resting and would be really beneficial for you right now. Now, still keeping in this format we were talking over here, we're going to go to the Six of Swords in reverse. Now, this is a beautiful anglerfish. But if you notice here, they do not have any light. Normally, angular fish have a little light at the end that enables them to hunt and do what they need to do. With it being in reverse, my spirit guide described this as, this fish does not have a light to do what it needs to do. It's in the shadows, and as you can see, it's sort of meeting its end due to being lost in the shadows, so to speak. So going on from that analogy, my spirit guide was saying that right now, it's really important for you to gain more information on the energies around you. We're talking about the imbalance of whether it be emotional energies, whatever you're sensing. It's about looking into the situation deeper and understanding it through context. And I said, well, how can they do that? And they said, for your specific situation, it'd be a really good idea to either straight up talk to your spirit guides or to be able, if you talk to your spirit guides, if you don't know how to go to the spirit realm, which is included in my intuition course, but if you don't know how to go to the spirit realm or talk to your spirit guides directly in some way, shape, or form, you can always talk to them through tarot or pendulum, and go talk to your spirit guides through tarot, and be like, hey, what is going on? What am I sensing? What is happening right now, in order to gain more information, so it can light your way. You won't be sort of feeling the sensation of being like attacked, so to speak. Now, the last thing that's kind of curious, which is sort of the way my spirit guide put it, is it is not the sole reason as to why you are feeling this way. It's more of a byproduct of this. But with the Two of Cups being in reversed, my spirit guide said somebody close to you is holding back. There's a sense of them just holding back. You can tell something's been off, and maybe they keep denying it. And hold on, my spirit guide's speaking. Oh, they say that. Yeah, my spirit guides, yes, they are. They have been. They have been holding back. I just triple confirm. Okay, good. I am hearing them correctly. And that maybe you've been trying to ask them about it. Well, you're not going to get the information you need, so you might as well approach it in the other ways we discussed. Now, remember, I want you to remember this. Don't solely look into the situation due to these means, because you can, but understand that's not the sole reason as to why you're feeling this way. What you're sensing is creating everything else going on in your life. And again, I just want to be here to let you know the level of intensity. You're okay. This is not super serious. It's not this impending doom and gloom. This isn't this scary, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Everything's okay. Everything's all right. Sometimes there's shifts and changes in the cosmos and the universe or the world around us, and we can just sense it, and it can just feel like there's something kind of off, and maybe not be the most fun to experience, but it's not your life's okay. Everything's going to be okay. So understand that you can get answers when we are, and you might be saying, well, I'm meant to look for answers within a card reading. When you exercise your own ability to find answers, it leads you down a really amazing path where you start to realize that if you ever feel like something is out of your touch, out of your reach, that you can always learn and understand more. So it's really important for you to practice that on your own, no matter how you can talk to your spirit guides. If you don't know how to do tarot, or you don't know how to talk to your spirit guides in such a direct way, again, those resources are through my courses. You are always more than welcome to sit down right before bed and say out loud, hey, spirit guides, come visit me in my dreams and let's talk, let's figure this out, type of thing. Those options are always available. So understand that that's also a resource too. Not a big deal, not super, super, super intense. I would always let you know if it was and what to watch out for, but just understand this is more of a reading to talk about the way to handle it, researching more information because that's what you're destined to do, and also understanding that your suspicions you've been feeling are correct, that you are not overthinking the circumstance. You are correctly understanding, and your intuition's working great, and you're understanding the world around you. So if you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, a comment, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and goodbye.